So there is a huge update on Social Security. Top Democrats in the Senate are now proposing a brand new bill that will help millions of Social Security recipients. The extra financial aid may be going out soon as this month. Congressional leaders can agree to one thing. It is that Social Security needs to be fixed before the program's funds are unable to pay full benefits in 2035. Leaders from both the Republicans and the Democrats have each recently discussed the issue on Capitol Hill. That was prompted in part by the release of the annual Social Security's Trustee Report, which include the new projected 2035 date for when the program's combined funds will become depleted. At that point, 80% of benefits will be payable. The new date is 1 year later than projected last year, yet the program still has a 75-year deficit. The House Republicans held a meeting last week to discuss their contention that Democrats' harmful proposal fails to put Social Security programs on a sustainable footing. Representative Kevin Brady, Republican leader of the House Ways and Means Committee, told his colleagues Republicans want to protect Social Security for current beneficiaries and the future generations, and if possible, save Social Security once and for all. Now, that followed a June Senate hearing that coincided with the proposal of a new bill to reform the program put forward by Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Sanders said at the hearing, "Our job is to not cut Social Security, it's not to raise the retirement age, as many Republicans want us to do. Our job is to expand Social Security so that Americans, everybody, can retire with the dignity that he or she deserves." Now, to fix the program, lawmakers have a choice of raising taxes, cutting benefits, or a combination of both. Democrats' proposals firmly advocate for tax increases, while significantly increasing benefits. Now, the plan calls for raising payroll taxes, which are used to fund Social Security, in order to make benefits more generous. Currently, workers and employers each pay 6.2% on wages of up to $147 grand. Now, one Democratic plan proposed by John Larson is the Social Security Trust Act. It would reapply payroll taxes starting at $400,000 and up. The plan put forward by Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders would reapply those taxes at wages over $250,000. But Republicans at both hearings indicated that those tax proposals were non-starters. In a recent meeting, Republican House leaders emphasized the negative effects higher payroll taxes may have on small businesses. Lindsey Graham said, "If you think taxing the wealthy is going to save Social Security, you're wrong." Instead, Graham said the wealthier may have to take a little less in benefits. In addition, Graham said that the retirement age will likely need to be raised for younger people who are living longer. At the Senate hearing, Mitt Romney emphasized the need for bipartisanship. Romney said, "If we don't come up with a bipartisan solution, we're not going to save it." Romney's proposed a bipartisan bill called the Trust Act. It would create a bipartisan committees to come up with changes to resolve the program's issues. Advocates for expanding the program complained that it could lead to decisions to benefit cuts that happen behind closed doors.
Okay, welcome everybody. And first I want to thank everyone who's here, someone who was just a stalwart leader on this issue for years, with her persistence, her intelligence, and her passion. This you can say for sure it wouldn't have happened if Kirsten Gillibrand hadn't taken the lead. I want to thank my colleague Senator Graham. He really stepped up to the plate and understood how important this was, and as he said, convinced businesses that this is good for business as well. And that's why we're able to move this amazing legislation by a voice vote, which meant no one was opposed to it. And in part, that's good credit to Lindsey Graham and to Joni Ernst, who helped so much on this legislation as well. And of course, I want to thank Gretchen Carlson. She did an amazing, amazing thing. And as I mentioned to her, when something bad happens to you, very bad, the human instinct is to curse the darkness. But instead, she lit a candle. And it was her courage that brought us here today. So thank you very much, Gretchen. It is just so angering, it just confoundly angering to realize that people, mainly women, but some men too, who were abused, harassed sexually, were forced to shut up, not tell anyone about it, and not seek justice. That is almost medieval. But that's what was happening until today. Because so many people, when they signed employment contracts, were forced into compulsory arbitration on this issue. We may have different views on compulsory arbitration on other issues, but on this issue, how could you tell a woman or man who is harassed, who is abused, you can't seek any public redress. You have to be quiet about it. You have to be handcuffed and whatever it is. What's muzzled? Yeah, what's the thing and muzzled, thank you, that you couldn't go forward. The great news is that'll never happen. And even better news, which a lot of people don't realize is in this bill, even the existing clauses that people have signed decades ago are no longer enforceable. So people who are harassed will get their rights and have their own choice and their own decisions to make as to whether to do this. So this is, if you could ever say any legislation was long overdue, this is it. This is it. It's sad it took the 22nd to the 21st, whatever century we're in. It took this century, 21st century, to make this happen. It should have happened long ago, but we're glad it's happened today. We're glad it's retroactive. And again, as I said, the person who made this happen more than just about anybody else is Senator Gillibrand. So let me recognize her.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leader Schumer. I want to thank Leader Schumer first. Questions I got asked by the press a lot yesterday is why did it take you so long to get this done? And leadership matters. This is something that Senator Schumer has a personal passion about. He's had it for a long time. I've heard his own stories of people he knows and loves and how they were harassed, sexually harassed and assaulted. He feels it intimately as a father of girls. And as a leader, he wanted to do this. This is something that Senator Graham and I have been working on for a long time. It was bipartisan. It had this vast support that we built up over many years. But this bill doesn't get done unless Senator Schumer puts it on the floor. The second thing that Senator Schumer did that I want people to know is, in the 11th hour of this negotiation, we had to bring all senators together. This was not something you could do easily, even if one senator stood opposed, because then the consent falls away. And he was able to meet with Senator Graham and Senator Ernst to really meet the needs of this moment and to assure everyone involved that this bill is what it says it is. And that was really important to Senator Ernst. And Senator Ernst and I have been a partner in this space for a long time. We work in the military context. But it was Senator Schumer, Leader Schumer's presence and commitment that this bill is what it says it is that made the difference for us to move forward and have this unanimous consent. So, Senator Schumer, thank you. This doesn't get done without you. It doesn't get done without your leadership. And it doesn't get done without this moment. I also want to thank Senator Graham because, Lindsay and I have been in this space together now for almost